Okay, welcome to our series of Runtime Spawner tutorials. This first tutorial is going to show you the basics of the package, how to check out the samples, and a brief overview of getting started. So here I have the Runtime Spawner installed in my project here. It's just an empty project, I have no other content. So if you go to the package manager and find your Runtime Spawner, you'll see there's a samples tab. And if we click import there, it'll import the runtime samples. This includes a bunch of content, pre-configured samples, and then all of these sample scenes as well. Take a look at the global spawner, the first sample. When we load this, TextMesh Pro is going to ask us to load in the essentials because we haven't used it before in this project. So let's import TMP essentials. And should load in all of the content here. So now you can see here we have a demo scene. And if I zoom in a bit, we've got a basic scene with a player character and camera, center machine camera. And in the game view, we have the basic controls in the bottom left or bottom right. And then diagnostics in the upper left. These are optional UI prefabs we can add into the scene. All of the demo scenes have the controls and the diagnostics. The diagnostics is part of the package. The controls are part of the samples. You can use the diagnostics independently if you're working on your own project just to kind of view what's going on. Yeah, with that, let's just hit play and see what happens. So again, we've got our basic player controller, we can run around. The spawner is set to not start automatically. So here on the demo controls, there are 3 buttons: init, start. So let's click init, that initializes the system. And then if we click start, it'll start the actual spawner. And it'll start spawning our global objects, or these zombies. They just have a simple wander script on them. And it'll continue spawning until we get up to the desired population, so which is around 50, you can see. So the diagnostics window in the upper left will give you a track of how many of each type of spawner is active, and then kind of a running count. And then we can also toggle the HUD to turn the diagnostics on and off. That's it for the global spawners or the getting the project going in the first example scene. All of this is you'll see it under samples, runtime spawner, and then the version. I have 1.2.5 installed, and then under there the scenes. And I'll walk you through all of the key features of the package. So that's the basics of getting set up with the runtime spawner. If you're more interested in more details on what's actually going on in all of these sample scenes, there's this runtime spawners category here. And if you select that, you'll see the actual runtime spawner and the configuration underneath it. And in this case, it's got the global spawner configured with the zombie spawn entry. That pop-up that happened was it was saving the spawner config, which configures the colors of the spawner, which shows this world area, which is where the spawner will spawn the objects. But we'll go into that in more detail in the next tutorial when we set up our own first spawner from scratch. And one last thing, as you're starting to get familiar with the package, under tools there's a toolbar for Runtime Spawner where you can find links to the manual, our Discord, API documentation, or support if you want to get in touch with us. This is also all available from the welcome window, so please feel free to join our Discord, and looking forward to see what you create.